welcome to Stitches and Sundries. This is a podcast about cross stitch. My name's Lauren, and it's time for a year-end blowout. I think that's what I'm going to title the video, because I have so much. I have so much stuff. I missed my November episode because of Thanksgiving. We had people coming in. I thought I could squeeze it in. It didn't happen. But so I'm doing this a little earlier in December. I got so much done. I don't have any big plans for 2026 as of now. If that changes, we'll see. But y'all, I did so much. So I'm currently, the only little life thing, we had people in for Thanksgiving. It was super fun. It was super fun, but it was super exhausting. Entertaining people is always, I love it. I'm an extrovert. I like having people around, but even I have, limits. I live a very solitary life with my sister. So when people are around all the time, it's just tiring. But, sorry, I'm also recovering from a cough. If you can hear it in my voice, I don't have much of a cough left anymore. But I cling to a cough like it's my job. Anyway, the big thing that just happened is we just did cookie day at my house, which is I bake cookies for my whole family and I invite friends. And if you help out, you can request a number of boxes. So we had 36 boxes to fill with 7 varieties of cookies. So I was on my feet for 15 hours. I'm not normally on my feet for 15 hours. So my body is exhausted. But my mind is here and it's here for stitching. So let's get into some stitching. So, a little bit, I think after Thanksgiving, I took a day off to just recover. And I just came down into my podcast room, stitchy room, and grabbed a whole bunch of frames and we're like, I'm finishing some things. So I have a ton of fully finished objects for you. Ton. I'm just going to do these in the order that they're sitting in front of me instead of I usually try and do something. But here we go. All right. I don't know if I actually showed this as a finish. So this is Dalmatians. We do. And it is fully finished. It is, I'm going to cover the little sentiment on the back. It is completely done up and ready to be delivered as a gift. This is a gift for my old boss who is retiring this year. He and his husband have Dalmatians. And you'll notice if you've been with us that there used to be 3 in this thing and now there's only 2. Well, the dog situation keeps changing. So I'm just stopping. I'm just stopping. The dog situation was heavily in flux in the last couple months, which is a little sad. But so I'm just doing 1 black, 1 brown. It could be any of his dogs. But he requested Dalmatians. So this is done. It is completely finished in this frame I got from a thrift store that just happened to be the perfect size and perfect color. You can't tell me that doesn't look amazing. And I even did the hardware to, he makes more money than I do, so he probably doesn't command strip everything to the wall. And if he does, he can just take that out. So, so that was done. I am really pleased with how that turned out. I think it'll be a great gift. Now I just got to figure out when his retirement party is, because nobody's told me. One of the things I was going to look up is who did it, I designed the second dog. I designed the brown dog based on the black dog, which was by Maggie Joe's Studio on Etsy. So I took this, I just kind of enhanced it a little bit and then did a different pose for the brown dog. Changed up the colors. And I think that turned out really good. I think it works. One thing I did do, and I'll show you here. Oh, did I forget to bring my... I forgot to bring my actual book. I forgot to bring my everyday book that I keep all my projects in. but I've moved some projects over. It was getting really bulky. It was getting hard to close the book. So I have the 2025 project book, and I've moved all things over into it. So I got my 2025. 2024 is almost done. There's only one project in it that's still outstanding. So this will probably still live on my desk. And 2023 is now completely done. It's completely closed off. So this one will go on my bookshelf to be like referenced or looked at or just remembered. And yeah, it'll look really great. But as you can see, if I kept every project forever, it would get very thick very fast. So, 2024 is waiting on 2 more, actually. 2 more projects. So it'll sit on my desk for a little while longer, especially at the rate I'm finishing shit. Which feels very slow, but I think I'm actually doing okay. All right, my next finish is... This is... I'll put up the original. This is Hocus Pocus by the Prairie Schooler. Got my ribbon. And it can be stitched as a full piece, but I stitched it as individual cards. And they're done. I finished them all up. So I finished these up on mat board and finished the card. And then on the back is just done with cardstock and fabric. This one is a Tim Holtz fabric. I should get my elbows off the table because I'm shaking the camera. And I had all these little scraps of trim. So they all have... I buy Michael's every once in a while, puts out these like trim packs that's just like assorted trims in some kind of theme. And I have a bunch of them. I buy them when I see them. And I just picked some that I thought were really... That one turned out so good. That I thought were really nice and matched the kind of colorway. And so I got these all done. This one I really like. This is a cotton ribbon I had that I just frayed. And I think that turned out so good. A pom-pom. So these are all done. They are ready to be... So I didn't want to string them all on. My plan is to put them on a garland. But I didn't want to string them all on the garland. So back of one. Because I plan to do more of these. And I want to be able to intersperse them. So they don't look like all of one type, all of another type. Because I'm out of this fabric. So the next batch I do will be on different fabric. So I want to be able to mix and match them in. And so I put them on a little loop that I can tie on and move them around as needed. So those are all done. There's 11 cards. And they're already, I wanted them to have them for Halloween of this year. It just was not going to happen between the stitching and the finishing. But I have them for next year. And I definitely plan to add more to them. My sister, I have asked for Christmas, now whether she gets it for me or not, the Prairie Schooler pattern Halloweenies, put it up here, which has several that fit in this theme and I love. So I'm definitely going to do more of these. Just set these aside. There are also ones, a friend of mine has Witching Hour, I think. And it comes with 2 little ornaments as a bonus. And I think she'll share those with me, the little bonus ornaments. So I will have more to put on there. I just got to figure out fabric and fun stuff like that. But I'm going to try and stitch them in the same. I really like how the brown and orange turned out. Really like that. So I'm going to stitch it in the same kind of colorway. That one, this might be my favorite finish I've ever done. It has turned out so good. It's different than just popping things in a frame, which, don't get me wrong, I love framing things. I love framing things. As you'll see, I have more frames coming. But it was just fun. It was really fun to do. It was really fun to sit down and figure out the system. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more fully finished objects. I told you, I did so much. This is, I'm going to definitely call this like the end of the year bonanza or the blowout or something, because wow. All right. Next finish isn't actually done, I don't think. It's mostly done, but I think I can do a little better. So this is, ooh, let's try not to get the lights and everything. This is Victorian lamp by UrbanStitches. And I love this piece so much. It came out perfect. I like it in this arched frame. I think it really works with the gold and everything. I really like it. And I could call it done here. I think it's very cool. This frame, I think it's just a TJ Maxx cheapo frame. And it is cheap. It feels, it was a pain in the ass to get in here. Because you can't lay it flat. This thing is like completely non-detachable. So like you can't lay this thing flat to get something in there at all. But I got it in. It looks really good. But it just looks like I wedged a piece of fabric in there. And I think I can do better. I think I can up my game here. So I have some ideas. I'm going to play around with it. But if nothing else, I think this looks really great. I think the colors look amazing. I really love this stitch on this fabric. Cannot recommend highly enough. This is 32 count Timeless by BeStitchMe. And I think BeStitchMe fabrics are so beautiful. So love that. Could be improved, but if I never get around to improving it, I think it looks damn great. So, all right. I'm just gonna blow through some of these. So this was done on my big day of framing. This is Take This This by Borealis. And maybe if I bring it back a little bit. Hang on. Goldie, you're reflecting like crazy over here in the corner. Lay down. Sorry for the sounds, but it was, no, that's not what was doing it. Yeah, it is. It's what's doing it. Go hide behind a pillow. I don't know what's making that big yellow swat. Let's see if we can figure it out. All right. There-ish. This is Take This by Borealis. It is a Legend of Zelda stitch that I am so freaking pleased with how it turned out. It looks amazing. It was sitting up on my, I have like a cabinet near my stitching in the living room. And it was just sitting up there like I had just finished it during cookie day when I had a bunch of people over. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, I can't get this thing to not reflect. Oh my gosh, that is so good, so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to hear. I want people to be amazed. People were amazed that it was cross stitch, which you're coming to my house. What are you expecting? But yeah, I love it. It turned out really, really good. I'm super happy. This was a vintage, I think it's a 8x10 frame. It's got a little bit of rustiness to it, and I like that. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out in just a really basic frame. All right, let's set you over here. All right, this next one is Plants and Petrichor by Fine Frog Stitching. And this is it done. And yeah, you can see my whole freaking room in this one because of the dark fabric. Oh, there's nothing I can do. Y'all, I'm so sorry. So there we go. This is complete. I finished it. I even got my, see here? I even got my initials in it. Got it signed and everything. And I finished this in a really cool vintage frame I found in a shop in Pittsburgh. It is a little banged up, but I love that. And I think the like muted olive tone of it really goes well with the muted and goldy colors of the piece. I think this turned out really, really good. There's a way to do this. I don't know why. I should just not put glass in until after I show them on here. That's a pain in the butt. But there's... This piece is so beautiful. It is just so lovely in color. I am so pleased with it. I think this is going up in my bedroom because it has just such good lazy day vibes. I think it's perfect for a bedroom. All right, and last, fully finished object. I'm doing good. This is Spooky Shelves by The Steady Thread. This is her 2024 stitch along for Halloween, and it is complete. This is just framed in a really pretty basic, but the stitch was so complex. Like when I put anything else other than just a really nice black frame on it, it just overpowered. Like it just looked so crazy. Whereas these stitches are so beautiful. They don't need that, you know, they don't need embellished. I am so pleased with how this turned out. This is one of my favorite stitches I did last year, or this year, I guess. Most of the stitching was done in 2025. This is just like, this is a conversation piece. People were just amazed about this. So this is going up, and I think this might be a year-round piece for me. I love a little bit of Halloween year-round. And I have a wall that has space for it. So this one's just going to stay out, I think. Bye, Lauren. Yeah. So that is all my fully finished objects. You can see I finished the back with paper and everything. Like these are freaking ready to go. A lot of these I will probably submit in the fair. So there's backing for finishing. I would try to submit these for the county fair this year, or at least one or two. Like usually you can only submit like one framed picture. You know, if you did a banner, if you did like these ornaments, I could definitely submit as a separate piece. But a friend of mine has been talking about possibly submitting for the state fair, which is quite a ways away. We're on like the opposite end of the state for the state fair. But if I were to submit for the state fair, you can be damn sure it'd be one of these. These are so good this year. So yeah, that's my fully finished objects. Can you see how busy I've been? I have been so good. I also have 2 finishers that I haven't gotten to finish yet. So I'll do those next. Let's do those real quick. And then I've pretty much touched every one of my whips. Every single one. So let me do this one first because it's bigger. So I completely finished Mushrooms and Toadstools by Owl Forest Embroidery. This one, I believe my plan is to get it professionally framed because I want to take it into the office. So this is completely done. I love it so much. I love it so much. I love the colors. I love the little frog. Little worm. I just love it. So this is complete on, can't remember if I did 28 or 32 count of the recommended fabric. It is so pretty. The colors are so beautiful. And while they could be considered very fall, there are some like fall leaves here and there. I think mushrooms are so universal that this could be very easily a summer piece. I'm going to be putting it up in my office year round because I just like mushrooms and I think they're beautiful. And I have nothing on my walls right now. And my walls are like a navy blue. The wall behind me is like a navy blue. And I think this will look really lovely on there. So I'm going to take this and get this professionally finished probably in the new year. I just don't have time to take it right now. And I think the frame shop that I take my stuff to is a little busy right now. Judging by every time I drive by their parking lot, which usually has nobody in it, now has lots of people in it. So, my other finish, and this was just a very recent finish, is Magic Forest by Nathnolu on Etsy and Instagram. And I'm in love with the colors of this. I'm in love with the colors of this. Like, I think every time I've brought it up, I've gushed about the colors, but you cannot tell me that is not the most vibrant, lush, juicy piece you've seen in a long time. It's just so beautiful. I'm definitely finishing this for, it could be summer. A few little ghosty goos do not bother me at all for summer. So I'll finish this as a seasonal piece of some kind, and it'll go in and out, but it might be down here on the wall at different times. My wall changes depending on what I have to steal from it to go upstairs. So normally there's a Christmas stitch right here, but it's up right now, or a winter stitch, I should say. But it's up right now. So things get combobulated. So that is all my finishes. Be proud of me. Like, I've been so good. I've been so good this year. I think I've looked recently because I always do stats. I'm a stats person. I work with stats all day and then I make more of them in the evening. I think I'm stitching around 300 stitches per day pretty consistently. And I think I have 20 plus finishes so far this year. I've been really having a good year. I have enjoyed everything I've stitched. It has been such a wonderful hobby. Like, it has just been so fulfilling. I love that my house is full of it. I love to give it as gifts. I love that people ask me about it. Like, a girl at work was like, you stitch. If I wanted to get started, how would I get started? And I was like, let me show you some stuff. You know, that makes me very happy. That my hobby is like, that people know me for my hobby, if that makes sense. Like, it's very fulfilling to me. People ask, there's a lady that only comes into the office like once every month for a meeting or something. And she always stops by my desk and is like, what have you been working on? I need to see what you're working on. And it's like, that's so lovely. That's so lovely. Because she and I have similar, like, taste, I guess. I don't know. She always likes my projects. All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whips. And let's do this one because I always forget it's over here. It sits outside the corner. This is Graveyard by Nazaire. She's a pixel artist who very kindly let me convert her piece into cross stitch. And this is where I was. And this is where I'm at. I am almost over to the edge again. And you can't tell me this isn't so beautiful. You can't tell me this isn't so beautiful. That angel and her wings have turned out perfectly. They look so amazing. The colors in the trees are so beautiful. I just love it. I really liked working in this like dark section. I'm getting to a little more of it next row. This dark section right here. It was just so pretty and nice to work in. So yeah, I am making good progress. I am 42% done, I think, something like that. I was hoping to get to 50 by the end of the year. I think that was my goal. But I think in reality, I get about 20% a year done. So not bad at all. And yeah, very pleased with this one. This is a very soothing project to work on. It's a nice project to get out. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Let me just grab my bag so I don't stop leaning over. Hang on. This little guy. We're not dealing with reflections anymore. Come here. Whew. I'm tired just thinking about all the work I did. All right, let's look. What's in here? New start for later. All right, so this is Goblin Market by Patricia Andrell. This is a vintage pattern, I think from the 90s. And I love it so much. This might be the thing I have enjoyed stitching on the most. I was telling my sister this. I was working on it last night, and I was like, I just enjoy it so much. Even if I didn't like want the piece, which I very much do, I think I would just be so happy stitching on it and then just like, I don't know, giving it to somebody, or I wouldn't throw it away, but you know, just like not having it. But it's so fun to stitch on. Sorry, my throat is so dry. It is so dry in this house. In that yakking, I'll put where I was. And here's where I am, y'all. And I have made such progress. All right, let me get close so you can see the glittery. Is it going to glitteriness? Okay, the glitter really isn't picking up. But oh, there we go, a little bit. The spider web is made with silver filament now. So it is really picking up. It is so pretty. I've got text, I've got edges, I've got everything. I don't know if, I cannot remember. It's been a minute since, because I missed November. I don't know how much I had of these sides with the cattails and the crane done, but I got all that done. Got all this. I've got the spider body. He doesn't have legs yet because I'm not quite there yet. Got the fruit in the weights and the chain started up, and I'm up to the roof and starting across with the little banner flags. The spider web has been challenging, but not too bad. I pretty much have to use a friction pen, draw on the lines, and then stitch, because the lines are not square to square. They're often in like 3/4, halves. And especially because I'm stitching on aida and not an even weave or something like that, I need to draw the lines on so that I can get my lines semi-straight. I've got a couple of slightly wobbly ones, but I'm just going to say that the spider was learning. So I am really, really, really pleased with how this is turning out. I think I'm at 80% done. And I think that's about right, even with the back stitching. Got the whole top roof. There's a big vulture up there. There's finials. There's the flags. And I've got 2 rows of text left. And I love this so much. I love the fairy tale quality of it. I love the colors. Like I said, it is a joy to stitch on. I don't know. I will have to look up if Patricia Andrell did other things. But this style of stitching is made for me. It's made for me. And my sister is so excited to get it. She's already like, that's for me. That's for me. So, very, very cute, fun stitch. Highly recommend. Oh, I'm stitching that on 18 count Wild Mint Aida by Atomic Ranch. And I'll talk about it next time. That has caused like some color issues. Like it's meant to be stitched on like a cream, and I've obviously changed that. They're very mild. Don't even worry about it. Do what you want to do if you're stitching on that. All right. This next one is A Snowy Evening is what I'm going to call it, by me and Stitchrovia. So Stitchrovia, I think I showed this last time. Stitchrovia has a pattern called Between Two Pines. I'll show it here. It's very beautiful. And I have used that and done a conversion and a bit of a redesign to make it A Snowy Evening based on Robert Frost's poem, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. And there's what it's going to be. I'm in love, love, love. And I've put in some time on this. While our friends were in, we did a movie night, and they were very gracious and let me stitch through the whole movie night. And I got some banger stitches in on this with some cat hair. Oh, hang on. That might not be a cat hair. With something. And here's where I'm at. Ooh, needs an iron. Don't worry about wrinkles. Here is where I'm at. So I'm still stitching in the center, but you can now, I was a little worried about legibility of everything. Nope, it is beautifully legible, lovely, dark and deep with frost. I am almost to the moon at the top, but I think I'm going to transition to go down here. I need to look at the light colors because this is a conversion that, I'm stitching for the first time. Computer screens show things a little differently. I'm a little worried my light colors are going to get a little mushy and I might need to play with those. So that's where I'm going to head next, into the snowy part of the snowy evening. And I think that's going to be so pretty. I think that's going to be so lovely. I'm stitching this on 14 count. I think it's called Stormy Gray Opalescent Aida. And I got it from Easy Stitch for You, I think is what it's called. I don't have my book. Easy Stitch for You. I'll put it in the description. It was a very nice printed Aida. So it's printed. So I got to be careful about washing. But the opalescent is beautiful. And there's just enough of a color change that I think it has a little bit of something to it. It's not just gray. So there we are. I am really enjoying this. This is a stitch for my mom. This was one of her favorite poems. We are from Appalachia. We're from the mountains. So New England vibes very much kind of hit around here, But however, I was telling people at work about it, and I would say, I'm now realizing a bunch of people didn't know the poem. And I was like, but it was like required reading in high school, right? You go through like the great American authors and you always read Frost, and it's short and it's like rhymey. It's like a very easy poem. And so you almost always hear Stopping by the Woods. And a bunch of them had never heard it. And I was like, how? And then I realized, one, a bunch of them are not from around here. They're from Florida, or I think one lady is from like Georgia and one lady is from like Texas. So obviously a very different education system. But also like that vibe of like stopping by the woods in a snowy evening is such a vibe of the mountains, the forests, the cold, that might not resonate in Florida the way it does up here. And so it's like a part of our curriculum up here. So it was very funny to be like, no, this poem. And everybody like, wow, that's a really great poem. First time I've ever heard of it. Like, well, I'm glad to introduce you to an American classic. What else do I got? This, which one? Well, I have another new start in here somewhere. Let's look. That's it. I'll hold on to those. We'll do those last. New starts last. You go over here. All right. This one is Persephone's Garden by Jed X Stitch. And it's a beautiful piece. They are quickly becoming one of my favorite designers. I put some really good progress on it. Here's where I was. Nope, upside down. Here's where I am. Wait, here's where I am. I got the entire tree done, and I've started down here into the kind of like Quaker section underneath the roots. I'm so flippin' pleased with this one. Flippin' pleased. It's so pretty. That tree is so beautiful. All the little specialty stitches are just like little sprinkles on top. And now I'm down into this section. And I'm really enjoying the motifs and the color changes. It's just a joy to stitch on. I'm stitching this on, is this 14 count or 18 count? I think it might be 18. 14 count. 14 count. I think this is called something denim by Atomic Ranch. This is a remnant. You can see by the little thing on the selvage edge. This is a remnant I got at the Village Sampler. I love their remnants. I love going through their stuff. They love to see me coming too, because I'll go, how much is left on that? I'll take it. So I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. I'm loving the colors on this blue fabric. I am really going to enjoy having this up. This is definitely one that I will have out where people can admire it. Like, it's not going in here just for you all. Making some really good progress. I expect this to be finished. I think I'm at like 70%. I expect an early finish next year on that. That's so much fun. And that one, I think I have a frame for. I think it's right there. I have a frame. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not going to get up and get it. But it's got like a cow and a teddy bear, like a very kitsch child's room. But I believe those dimensions are perfect. I'm going to get it. All right, last whip update, and then I have 2 new starts. See, do you see the blowout? Like, do you see how good I've been? Like, I don't know how I've seen people. I've gotten so much done. Like, it's been a really nice fall. It's been a really nice start of winter. We've been so busy with family and friends and like running and doing Christmas shopping and everything. And somehow I'm still like, put the brakes on, sit down, watch a movie. I don't freaking care, but I'm going to stitch because that's what I want to do with my evenings. This one is Tiny Modernist, A Spooky Night Sow. This was her 2025 Halloween sow. There it is. And I'm stitching this as individuals because, as you can see, I like a little thing. So I'm stitching these as individual blocks. And so I don't think I've made as much progress on this as I wanted to. I feel like last time I was like, oh, I'm really going to put the pedal down. And I just didn't. I'm in winter stitching mode. Really feeling the wintry stitches right now. But I'll put in where I was. Here's where I'm at. So I've had these 3 done for a while, so I'm just gonna. I finished up the spooky, and I started on the books and skull. So I got a big chunk of books done. See, it's really not, like, I'm shocked at how little I got done on this. I did have to restitch spooky completely over. Like, I had to pick it all out and start it completely over. But that's a pretty small square and shouldn't have slowed me down this much. I think it's coming up in my rotation very quickly, so I'll get some more done on it. Yeah, very cute. Really loving these colors. I'm more and more liking this fabric. I was a little hesitant, and then I came back on it, and I got hesitant again, and now I'm looking at it again, and I'm like, nope, it's a really great fabric. It's gonna look awesome. So it just goes to show you like what my mood has to be. I'm a very moody stitcher. So just a little update, nothing crazy on that one. I am hoping to have this done for Halloween next year so I can have it as a little Halloween basket of, basket of little pillows. I like a little pillow. Already have the fabric to finish this up with. So hopefully that goes a little quicker than my last couple of sewn finishes. I still have one finished that needs sewing done to it from 2024. And I didn't touch it this year. It was done right at the end of 2024. And I thought, I'll get that finished in 2025. I didn't even touch it. Doing good. If that's my only flaw, right? I'm doing pretty awesome. All right. I have 2 new stitches. Both are pretty small. One is to backfill. I try and keep 10. That's what I was talking to my friend Devin earlier today about 2026 goals. And I was like, I feel like I have found my rhythm. And like goals were always to me to like make adjustments to my routine, find different things that would work, try out different methods. And I feel like I've figured it out. So I have very, very light goals for next year. I usually do a goals video. I don't think I will, because my goals are like, keep doing what you're doing, girl. You're doing awesome. What's going on with my hair? You're doing awesome. And I will do a blessing sampler in January. I love that tradition. I've done it for 2 years now. I want to keep it going. So I will do a blessing sampler, which is, if you've never heard of it, it's an Instagram tradition. Which I haven't posted to Instagram for a while. It's basically you pick a sampler, which I'm pretty loosey-goosey on. It just needs to either have repeating motifs and or text. That's a sampler. And you put your first stitch in it on New Year's Day, and for your last stitch in on the 31st. So you want to pick something that you can finish in a month, and you put the very last stitch in on the 31st. And that's just supposed to like set you up for good stitching in the year. Like it's super nice. It's like a small with a little goal. I'll definitely do that again. I am thinking for this year, what I'm going to choose is Once Upon a Time by Sprouting Lupine. Super cute, very small, simple. I'll have a lot of fun doing it. So I will probably stitch that. And that's the end of my goals. Finish up some of these bigger projects that I've had hanging around. And yeah, have fun. So one of my new starts in my retro bag is, this is Hollow Knight Conifer by Geekosaurus on Etsy. Excuse me. And if any of you are video gamers, Hollow Knight Silk Song just came out. It is a new game. The original Hollow Knight is my favorite game of all time. I love it. I've replayed it twice. I am currently on my 3rd replay so that I could remember everything before I start Silk Song. It is like truly one of my favorite games of all time. And this little guy is from the game. You find him in different sections and he gives you a map of the section. He's so cute and so round. And here's where I'm at on him. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. So I've got his scrolls and part of his little deedly bobs. And I'm working down into his body now. Got his belt. I might put a little backstitching so that you can tell that this is a quill. In the game art, it's not. It's just like that. But just for legibility, for people that don't know, make sure that is legible as a quill in his hand. And he is so cute. And I just love this. I'm going to put it up in my game room. I'm stitching this on 28 count. What was this called? Frieza by Atomic Ranch, I think. This is another scrap from Village Sampler. And it's just perfect. It looks parchmenty like a map. And the little red line with the like doot will look fantastic on it. Yeah, very cute. Just a little small fun. I'm really enjoyed doing Take This, which was video game themed as well. And I'm just liking these like pop culture pieces. Really like that. I think I'm already like 30% done on that. That's going to be whipped out in no time. And my last new start is I finished up... Oh, I didn't bring it down here. I'm trying to keep a black work going. I've really enjoyed black work. I've had a lot of fun with it. And so this is Winter Rose by, don't have my book. Nope. I can't remember. Winter Rose. I'll put it up here and I'll put her name underneath it. She's on Etsy. She has some very beautiful patterns that she does she does a lot of her patterns in 3 ways. So black work, cross stitch, and full embroidery. So you can kind of like find the pattern you like and then find it in the style you like to stitch in. So I started this on this piece that I've had for a million billion years. That is so red. That shocked me. It's like the exact same color as my record symbol on the video app. Like, wow. This is 28 count Christmas red even weave that I got when I started cross stitching in 2021. There's a store in town that was like a craft store that was going out of business, and I bought up their cross stitch supplies. And this, probably because it's this red, it's not quite that red in person. It is getting like blown, like, I bought this piece of red at that time in 2021, and I think it's going to be perfect. I'm stitching it in white instead of black. And the gold and everything. I think it's just going to be such a beautiful winter Christmassy stitch. I've got the outlines of all the flowers. Am I holding this right side up or upside down? Hang on. I'm upside down. My apologies. It's a little hard to tell. There we go. I don't think it makes that big a difference. Oh, it does, because everything now looks like it's folding down slightly. Yes, Lauren, geez Louise. So I got the outlines of all the flowers and the pine cones done. You can see I started a little bit on some of the detailing on the sprigs. Now comes the actual like black work part, I feel like. Filling in the flowers, doing the outlining, adding the gold. Like, I think this will be so pretty. And I'm really going to like it on this red. In choosing this, I knew it would be kind of big. But I think I'm liking the size just because of how bold the color is. It looks even bolder on this screen, but I'm liking that it's got a little room to breathe. So, those are my 2 new starts starting into 2026. I have really, really, really enjoyed stitching in 2025. I think it's been a great stress reliever because I don't know if you know, but the world's on fire. So it has been a real comfort, and it's been a great thing to bond with friends over. I have awesome friends that stitch as well. And yeah, here's to getting through 2026 with the same mentality. I know we've talked about doing a vent and burn, write down all the things you want about 2025 to just go away. And I think we're all feeling that a little. We're also burnt out from work and just like household stressors, and we all feel it. So I'm ready to put a close on this year and hope for some really good positivity in the next year. This year has been fine, right? Like, I cannot complain. We're so lucky and blessed. But I feel it in the air that everybody is really hopeful that this new year will cross this threshold for us. Whether that works or not, I don't know. But I hope so. I hope so. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful New Year's, a wonderful resetting of the season of the, we're almost to the winter solstice, the return of the light. Let's all just put our good vibes into the universe for a better 2026. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back sometime in January, probably, as long as the world doesn't end. and we'll stitch some more. Tell me about your 2026 goals, and if you have anything that you're like really looking forward to in 2026. And I guess I'm supposed to say like, share, subscribe, all that jazz right here at the end, but whatever. Have a wonderful holiday. Talk to you later.